Pais investigation. With me, or who will be coming out shortly, is our FBI Denver Special Agent in Charge, Dean Phillips. And standing behind him, who will be available to answer any of your questions, is Executive Director Stan Hilke of the Colorado Department of Public Safety, Jeff Schrader, who is the Jefferson County Sheriff, John Camper, who is our CBI Director, and ATF Assistant Special Agent in Charge, Terry Henderson. SAC Phillips will provide you with an update on the case, and afterwards we will be available to take a few of your questions.
Thank you all for being here today. First off, I would like to say I recognize the sense of anxiety among the residents of the Denver metro area over the last 24 to 36 hours. There was a lot of information flowing, and it was troubling for some, causing a lot of anxiety. I fully recognize that, and I want to thank you for your patience and understanding as we dealt with this trying potential threat to the community. As you know, Miss Sol Pais traveled from Miami to Denver, and soon after procured a weapon from a store here in the local area. We, based upon, we had heard from Miami threat information, potentially threat information, based upon her actions and comments that she had made to others. We took it as a credible threat to the community and potentially a threat to schools in the area, although non-specific to any particular school. We started working immediately with our state and local counterparts, trying to address the threat, to identify her more specifically, to determine where she was at, and to try to locate her. It was a long night. We had a 24/7 command post that we stood up immediately. We had federal, state, and local partners that participated throughout. It was an incredible effort in the Denver metro area, I can tell you. Late this morning, we started an expanded search of the Mount Evans area between FBI special agents and the Clear Creek County Sheriff's Office. And during that search, we found the body of Miss Pais. She appeared to have died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. We subsequently sent out our evidence recovery team as well, because we're going to assess the crime scene, if you will, and make sure that there's nothing further, no other further criminality involved with that crime scene. At this point, it looks as if she was alone, that she took her own life with the weapon that she procured. We will continue our investigation at this point. The reason we do that is we are trying to follow every lead, assess every social media outlet, everything that she may have done over the last several months to a year, to ensure that there are no accessories, that there are no accomplices that might be working with her. It's very important for us to ensure that there is no further threat to the Denver community. I would like to point out, I think it's very important for folks to recognize, the law enforcement cooperation, the partnerships during this investigation, this trying 36 hours, was incredible. The federal partners, the state partners, the local partners all came together in an incredible manner and worked tirelessly to put this to bed. We were obviously concerned that there was a potential threat to the Denver metro area, but as residents of Denver metro, you should feel confident that your law enforcement community is protecting you and keeping you safe. So, I want to give special thanks to the FBI Miami Division for advising us and sending the lead to us yesterday morning. And I certainly want to thank all of our partners for their participation, some of which you see standing behind me, but this is certainly not all-inclusive. And finally, I want to thank the public. Again, we put out bolos, we put out requests for tips, and there was tremendous response to that. We had a significant number of tips and leads that we followed up on, and it's the vigilance of the community, the cooperation with law enforcement that helps us keep our community safe. So thank you very much. Are there any questions?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
When did you learn she was up around the Mount Evans area, and how did you guys know that?
She was last spotted in that area, and we were planning to do an expanded search, but we were waiting for visible light, conditions to allow us to get teams up in that area.
When you say last spotted, was she spotted yesterday then up there?
She was last spotted on Monday.
Who spotted her?
She was dropped off by a for rent vehicle.
What time did you find her in there? Is it too early to tell what time she killed herself?
It's too early to tell right now. We are certainly bringing her body back to the medical examiner to do an autopsy. And our evidence response team will be out there to collect evidence to ensure that there's no other sign of foul play. But again, at this point, it appears that she took her own life.
What
Can
time
you
did
tell
you
us more
find
about
her?
the threats, please, when they came in and what the medium was?
I'm sorry, you said the time.
What time did you find her today?
I think it was 10:30 to 10:40 time frame. Yeah, if I recall right.
Can you tell us more about the nature of the threats, when they came in and what the medium was?
So it was really a combination of her actions and comments. She made several comments to folks that we obtained through interviews, comments that were troubling with regard to her infatuation with Columbine, the recognition that the Columbine anniversary is coming this weekend. Things like buying 3 one-way tickets in consecutive days, very unusual activity.
She did that?
She did.
3 all Denver?
Yes. So unusual activity that caused us great concern, that obviously we worked very quickly to identify and address.
And were
I've
those
heard from
threats
parents
online,
that-
or were there were people she spoke with, were they also online with threats?
She had some online social media that we are obviously following up on to ensure, again, that there are no accomplices. But she did have verbal conversations with folks that we have interviewed in different divisions.
I've heard from parents that say, and I quote, "My God, this is what one 18-year-old girl can do to an entire Front Range and 500,000 students or more." What do you say to people that say this was an overreach?
As a parent, I would say thank you to the school system for protecting my child.
What role did the driver play in your
Dissolve
investigation?
What role did the driver play in your investigation, and is that how you knew she was in the Mount Evans area, and why Mount Evans, to your knowledge?
We don't know why that was the location for her choosing, but that was the driver did help us obviously pinpoint the last known location.
There are reports she had an online journal. Did you find such a journal online, and did you read it, and this is where it all came from?
We've been combing all manner of her social media and obtaining, again, comments, statements, things that would lend credence to the fact that she was a potential concern.
Was there a specific journal online that you found?
I really don't want to talk about any specific journals that she might have posted.
When did she first appear on your radar?
Girl not connected.
I'm sorry.
There's a website called Dissolved Girl that has been connected to her. Is it not connected to her?
We're following up on every lead to see if there was any other accomplices or other matters that we need to follow up on. It's still in progress.
But is that website part of what you're looking at?
It is part of what we're looking at.
Can you clarify the timeline about when she landed and when she purchased the gun?
She purchased 3 one-way tickets in successive days on the 15th, 16th, and 17th. She flew out on the 15th, on the first day. She went directly to the store to procure the weapon. I want to say it was early in the day. There were concerns about her from the Miami locale when she was not around. Folks had conversations with local police department there. The local police department then notified the FBI yesterday morning in Miami. And Miami then notified us yesterday.
Was there one school in particular that was ever a target, or is that why all the schools were shut down, because you didn't know where the
We had
potential
no specific information on a targeted school. It was generalized potential threat information, and we were concerned about any particular schools.
If she had been found alive, what potential charges could she have faced? Would this have been considered domestic terrorism?
We have been working with the U.S. Attorney's Office and the District Attorney's Office to file appropriate charges.
Did the person who dropped her off say that she had said anything before that driver left her at Mount Evans?
No.
All right, one more question.
Agent,
How did
what
you
did
know
you
she
learn
loaded
about
up?
her mental health status during this investigation?
I'm sorry.
What did you learn about her mental health status during this investigation?
I'm not a psychologist, so I wouldn't have the professional ability to say anything, to really speak to that.
How did she become aware she bought a gun?
We knew that she was in contact with gun stores prior to her departure, and we went to the gun store and determined, in fact, that she procured a weapon.
We're going to conclude the press conference.
Thank you very much.
Was there an opportunity to flag the purchase of the gun, or was the timeline just not working that way?
We didn't know she was a threat until after the weapon had been procured.
All right, thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
So, does anyone need names, clarification on the executives who are here?
That question she was asking, I think a lot of us would like to know more about what you all have learned about her mental health status, just in terms of like prior, if she's ever been held before or anything like that. I don't know if that's something you all can share, maybe now or at some point.
So that's a good question. Investigatively, that's something that's going to become known to us as we progress through this investigation. Just because we've had her deceased now, it doesn't mean that we don't continue on with the investigation. From a mental health perspective, I think that SAC Phillips is correct in that that's something that we would prefer to leave to mental health professionals to make the assessments versus us.
Yeah,
Speak to that.
So the question is, like, have mental health professionals in the past made some sort of assessment that might tell us more about her?
That we can't comment on, as it's still active and ongoing, and so we hope to provide you guys with more information. There's probably FOIA requests that you can make as well on down the road.
From the name of the gunshot?
No, I can't. I can't provide that information. Because I don't have it handy. Not because I think it is out there in the media already.
Do you know can you specify what kind of gun she bought and how much ammunition?
That I can't confirm either. So that I have been focusing more on the media aspects of the case and not on. There's some things investigatively I'm not familiar with. I can't provide you a 100% accurate answer. So.
And his name was Phillips, is that right?
SAC Dean Phillips, correct.
You said it was a rented car. Was it rideshare or rented or a taxi?
That, I believe he answered a question about, there's some things investigatively we can't provide additional comments on.
Well, it's been reported that it was a rideshare, but then he said a rental car that had a driver.
Right.
Can you confirm that it was rideshare?
I can't. It's still active and ongoing, and so we'll try to provide you guys with more details in the coming weeks.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
His name again was what?
Dean Phillips.
Is it D-E-A-N?
D-E-A-N. Phillips.
I just want to make sure.
We try to answer more questions this time.
That's my fault. Yeah, I'm just like, you guys were pulling. I didn't want you guys to. What's up, man? Hey, how's it going?